Everyone present out here in the valedictory session of 1 week long KICT training and learning. Atal Academy sponsored in a program on application developments in the lab on a cheap technology for fluid and thermal sciences. We heartily welcome Mr. Rajat De, Head HR MCPI, and Mr. Aniruddha De, Deputy General Manager and Head Technical Automotive Exide Industries Limited. We are having with us our respected Principal, Professor Dr. Subroto Mandal. We are having with us our respected Dean of School of Engineering, Professor Dr. Tarun Kanti Jana. We are having with us Professor Dr. Gautam Bose, Head of Mechanical Engineering Department. We are having with us Professor Devdatta Ghosh, Associate Professor, Department of Applied Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering and in charge IAPC. All the participants, it is a proud privilege for us to have with us the dignitaries of the dais. So it is customary, before we start, we would like to felicitate our dignitaries with Uttariya and memento. So I will ask Khai Sharma to do the honor on behalf of the institute. I would like to request our most beloved and revered head of the department, Dr. Gautam Bose, to hand over the potted plant to the dignitaries. I would like to request Professor Devdatta Ghosh to hand over the plaque from on behalf of the institute. I would like to request Professor Subroto Mandal to hand over the memento to Mr. Rajat De. I would like to request Professor Tarun Kanti Jana to hand over the memento to Mr. Aniruddha De. Now I would like to request our most revered and honorable Principal Sir, Professor Dr. Subroto Mandal, to say a few words on this valedictory session of the FDP.
Very good afternoon to all of you, respected dignitaries, my dear colleagues. I am very much happy that our Mechanical Engineering Department has organized a faculty development program in a week where our faculties will be enriched their knowledge. I believe that each and every institute should organize this type of faculty development program because you will agree with me that many things are coming as outcome of research. So that things are not coming in the textbook. So if we organize this type of faculty development program, seminars, etc., then our knowledge will be updated and upgraded, which will help to our students, and you can control, rather you can maintain your style of teaching also. So I request each and every department, because many departments faculties are here, try to organize this type of faculty development program as well as seminar, workshop, etc. As we can reach in such a height that our institute will be a best institute in the West Bengal as well as India. Thank you all.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the verge of the valedictory session completion. So, there will be a panel discussion in this valedictory session, wherein we are having industry persons and academia. So, this panel discussion will be chaired by Professor Dr. Tarun Kanti Jana, and from the industry we have 2 persons, and from the academia I'll be requesting our principal sir and Professor Devdatta Ghosh on behalf of academia. They will be participating in this panel discussion.
Already. So, good afternoon. As a part of this faculty development program, that is Atal Fdp, we are almost on the verge of completion. And before we conclude, we have a very interesting session. I think all the participants as well as with the faculty members will be benefited. Fortunately, we have got the 2 senior industry people from the X side and MCPI, along with our principal, Professor Bose. Professor Bose is there, and of course, faculty members, participants, students, and industry members are also present. Actually, what happens in the current days that particularly in the 21st century, the transformation is taking place at a very faster rate, and neither the industry nor the academia are relieved from this intense competition. So, a lot of challenges are there, and industry are thriving for their very survival and how to do their business, of course, with a profit margin, how they can survive and continue their activities. So, in that context, I basically belong from the core mechanical engineering discipline, and I believe that 2 members from the industry, they are also coming from the core industries. And if you take your views, if you go back to 2 to 3 years of your life, you'll find that there is a sea changes in our behavior, in our attitude, in our activities, irrespective of our work organization. We are fully engrossed in the activities of the development affected through artificial intelligence, rising information communication technology, social media platform, and the focus has shifted from the core to somewhat a virtual world. Because this virtual is nothing abnormal. There is a concept of virtual manufacturing, virtual computing. So everything is virtual. That means we are deviating from the reality. So my honest question or other proposition to the 2 industry people from the core sector, how do you feel these changes and how this affects your business or the day-to-day activities? Anyone, sir? Just share your views.
Good afternoon to all of you. This is a great opportunity on our part to have the privilege of interacting with all of you. So, when we look into the world today, any ripple, small ripple anywhere in the world is impacting all other places. This may be a war between Ukraine and Russia, or which may be a war between Israel and Hamas. We are directly or indirectly getting impacted. So, what is sir told is that there are 2 buzzwords in corporate world which is going. One is VUCA. VUCA, I think all of you might have heard. Okay, and another word is we call it disruption. Disruption, I can explain you very simple. When in USA the first computer came, it was a huge one, and it was very costly. So very few people, they had the access to the computer, and those who had the access to the computer, they were very enlightened people. They were getting a lot of respect from the society. Computer chalata hai. It was a 3-story building like a structure. Then gradually the science and technology improvement started. Then we have this personal computer. Then we have laptop. Then we have the Android phone, which is there in everybody's hand today. So, which was affordable for a very exclusive type of scientists or very exclusive type of very rich people. Now, even if you want to see the Toto wala, Pan wala, fisherman, everybody is having that Android. So the thing which was very elite type of thing is now getting distributed to everyone. So information has come to everyone. So this is a massive disruption that has come, and industry and academics both are taking huge advantage of that. You know, I worked in Aditya Birla Group. We have idea. Have you heard about idea? Idea. So there was an advertisement of Abhishek Bachchan. Abhishek Bachchan, the idea. So in one of the advertisements, Abhishek Bachchan was the school teacher or principal of the school, and one small kid from Adivasi, very backward, his father brought her father brought her to the school, but Abhishek Bachchan could not find any place because all seats were booked. So when the girl was moving out of the school, she just looked back to Abhishek Bachchan, and as a principal, he was feeling very guilty. Then the idea struck. Idea lagao. What Abhishek Bachchan is that he did, he gave one mobile phone to each of the villages. And the study, instead of students coming to the school went to the students. Right? So when I went to a place called Somnath in Gujarat, the first Jyotirling of Indian Hindu culture. So I found we had in Aditya Birla 2 schools, and the school standards were so good that people from Rajkot, Junagadh, Dwarika, students used to come and they wanted to take admission, but we have limited seat. Same condition I was facing, which Abhishek Bachchan was facing. Then I tried this, but I could not succeed. Subsequently, when the COVID came, in the form of corona, the pandemic, everything became like that. So technology automated by default, which I was trying my hard to place, I could not. But some virus, invisible virus, much smaller than me, but more powerful than me. That virus created that ambience. Now all the teachers are in front of the camera, and all the students are in their houses, and they started. I think all of you might have done the similar thing. So technology is a boon. We have to think it positively. We have to think out of the box and start applying that. So from my point of view, in the industry, whatever things are there, that what Sir is saying, Boyle's law will not change, Pascal's law will not change. These are the fundamentals, this will not change. But application, how better we can do through science and technology in the industry, that is the main thing for which we are excelling. And India is now becoming one of the most powerful nation in the world by applying this. Whatever our scientists used to go and do in USA, now they are doing in India itself, and India is getting enriched. So from my side.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Because in one hand, the COVID virus has affected our life miserably, and at the same time, it has also come up with some advantages. And that digitalization took place at a very faster rate in 2020, and what you are already talking about. Now teachers as well as the students are spending their maximum time in front of the computer, laptop or mobile phone, whatever it is. But that is true, that is, we have got a lot of advantages to this mobile phone. You need not to go to the bank, you need not to go to the market, everything is possible sitting just with the help of a smartphone is possible. But as far as our infrastructure industry is concerned, core industries are concerned, how that are going to be affected due to this proliferation of the ICT. Why I am saying so? I am not denigrating the ICT or IT because these are also very much important, and the technological developments you cannot deny in anywhere, in any sphere of life. Personally, I have seen, as rightly pointed out, a term that is called destructive, not disruptive. So that disruptive, these IT tools are basically treated, even the researcher also, they proclaim that all the development that are taking place are mostly disruptive in nature. These are not at all sustainable. By saying so, I am not denigrating the people from the IT or the CS domain. But the thing is that how does it affect, or the focus is being shifted from the virtual world, code to the virtual world, and that is why the core branches of engineering and the activities, the infrastructure, manufacturing, your textile, these are being affected. So, sir, any viewpoint on this?
Thank you, Dr. Jain.
Oh, okay, it's all right.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, myself, Aniruddha Dash. I work in Excite Industries Limited as head QA and head technical of automotive division. Just before coming into this meeting, all the four of us, I think, we were discussing almost the same topic. And what I gather is that there seems to have been influxed in all the seniors who are sitting here, or the peers of this particular educational field, like mechanical engineering. Something is going inside, and maybe inside you as well. That slowly the aura of this core engineering is slowly getting blackened out or grayed out. It is becoming grey. Why it is becoming grey, as Sir has rightly pointed out, maybe because of the whole world or the technology moving from these core subjects to almost towards the subjects of digitalization, which enhance or propagate or proliferate digitization. So, when I was in college myself, I'm a chemical engineer from NIT Trichy. So when I was in my college, so at that time we used to say that mechanical and electrical, these are the two branches which are always evergreen. Why evergreen? Because anybody can go into maintenance. So whichsoever it may be the product, or whichsoever it may be, whether it's a services sort of thing, or whether it's a product, suppose it's a made product, manufactured product, or it's a plant, it's a chemical plant, or it's a metallurgical industry. A mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer would always get a job, or would always get some really a substantial role to play in that industry. I feel still today, as on date, that at the time it was a notion. I realized that myself when I joined the industries, and as on date also that's quite true, and that's highly true as on date. What has changed is basically the background in which that mechanical engineer, in its core, who has studied all this right for the 8 semesters, he is working in. Because, and that is because, mainly, because first of all in India, if we see the manufacturing, the core sector sector still stands out to be hardly 17 to 18%, not more than that. And moreover, as Rajat sir told, after the COVID, the whole institutes went to the students. Even for us who are working in the industry, the meetings are now almost everything is in the virtual mode only. So these are leading to many cost savings. The cost of operation has gone down, the cost of traveling has gone down, the logistics costs have gone down quite a bit. Plus, people say that even those who are working in a bit kind of accounts in these manufacturing sectors, accounts or purchase or even certain logistics, even they would also sit at their homes and do all these controllings of the everything almost. So they say that with the sedentary kind of an activity inside from the house, we are able to see the family also, we are able to see the work also. So our whole efficiency is doubled. But anyway, the people who are there at the shop floor, for them this situation is not changed. For them, the situation is not changed. For them, the situation is that they have to go to the respective units of manufacturing, or they have to go to their shop floor. They have to, even the workmen that only handle day in and day out, they have to be 100% there and maintain their regularities, even doing their normal shifts and doing their overtime and whatnot to produce the whole thing. Now, so if we see that, so as on date, if we see that the service part of the industries or the backgrounds that has enhanced like anything, right? So earlier days, what we used to see, the banks and the top banks, these were there. Now even everywhere you have got the digitization influxed into it in such a way that that is opening the job for these people, for many people. And anyway, in our India, we are having such a huge population out here. Naturally, the now core industries have become almost stagnated. Okay, the core industries have become stagnated. So now people are trying to find the place here. So naturally, a mechanical engineer after his graduation, if he gets to the campus interviews, then well and good. Okay, he can. Otherwise, those who are not getting through the campus interviews, they have to depend on these core industries. Now, say he doesn't get job initially, because every time people look for experienced people, like we definitely do. Similarly, maybe other industries in this belt or maybe outside India or outside West Bengal, or within the West Bengal, other than Haldia, they might also be doing. Everybody is looking for some experienced people. Then who will give the chance to this freshers? Now, slowly, what is happening is that they are forgetting their core subjects as well. কত আর ডেট দেবে, কত আর ডেটের প্রিপারেশন করবে, আর কত এই সব ইয়ে। So naturally এইখানে here যখন now why do we look for the experienced people? Now because experienced people means those who can handle the PLCs. Who can handle the PLCs. Now PLCs nowadays, or the HMIs, or the basic some high level algorithm product that operates these machines, because none of the machines are now those rustic machines. Even in my company, for that matter, we have also evolved within last 20 years. We have almost automated leaps and bounds. So say for example, I expect one of my people whom I want to recruit as a fresh, so he should look into that sort of a machine which is highly automated. Automated means it is having a robot, it is having a PLC interaction. Of course, the operation is taking place with the help of mechanical parts, and there the electrical parts are influxed in it, as well as some whatever the process that it is undergoing. It has got its own instrumentations. Instrumentations are interacting with the whole system. So there are always all set points, then the process values. So now the mechanical parts and these digitized parts, they are all interacting together to make that machine run. And why we are doing that? We want to optimize down our costs. Because we are doing business. The industries are all doing business. So everybody looks into the cost and the reliability of the process. So the reliable the process, the more the product is consistent in the market. So my customer will definitely prefer always to take that sort of a product, right? So under this scenario, so I would expect a mechanical person who has done from HIT or any other institute, always to have some experience in him, or those sorts of backgrounds very well inculcated in him. Now he is not getting a job, he is slowly forgetting the whole thing out. So that person is always in a lurch when he is getting rejected from me, he is going to another industry. There may be, if at all he is getting absorbed, then well and good. Otherwise, you just imagine. So this sort of a thing is happening. So my only request is that all these industries are doing business. Everybody, even the core, So we cannot nowadays, they are also very rightly pointed out, we cannot brush up with the technology. The technology will definitely grow and grow. Okay. So maybe what we are seeing, this is still handy. So maybe tomorrow it will be there in our watch. So even already those sort of watches have come out. So even my son wears one. I just purchased one for him few days back, where he can ring and he can see everything. He can play games out there. So that's becoming a craze in the children. So those children will now come to these institutes and they will be your students at one point of time. So then, but the whole part remains same. Whole part remains same. So the services are lucrative. Because the services, everywhere it is services and everywhere it is digitization. Because we have already stepped into that global part. It's the globalization which has led to this liberalization. So we are already into it. So now under these circumstances, my only request is, if we want to have something fruitful, or in order to go ahead or move ahead, then we should embrace, or we should be abreast with the digitization. And whatever the basic core fields are, like mechanical number 1, electrical number 2, then civil number 3, the whole pedagogy should have these things inculcated into the basic theories and the basic practicals of it. Suppose you teach somebody a Laplacian transformation. Okay, so one student should know that where can I use these Laplacian transformations into the digital world, and how can it really operate a machine? How can it really operate a machine? How can it really help the prime mover to drive a certain process and with a certain reliability? So those sort of upgradations are needed, and it should be ensured that each and every student of a 40 student batch in a particular section, even if he gets job or not, he should have that influxed in him into his arteries and veins. Because we look, the businesses are for a reliable product, for a cost competitive product. So cost means cost of manufacturing, the cost of logistics, cost of everybody, the cost of the employees, the direct cost, the indirect cost, the conversion costs, everything are there. So basically everything runs on that small microeconomics or the macroeconomics, whatever they involved in it. So that should be basically should be the bridging gap, and the entire faculty team must ensure this, at least for my children, sort of thing, because they are the ones who are going to the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, sir has very beautifully discussed and explained the need of multidisciplinary approach towards factory activities, and also emphasized on the need of present day's ICT-based system, so that we should not be completely biased towards anything, and all the technological development in any way which are coming up, that should be appropriately utilized for our benefits. I would ask Professor Mr. Rajat, one question from, since you are from the HR background. So in tune with the proposal by Honorable Sir, what is as a HR people, what are the qualities that you would like to have, or you would like to see for a new incumbents who are about to join? Because our education system, we are dealing with the engineering 4 years degree courses. So from the very beginning, first year to fourth year, our objective, since we are following the philosophy of outcome-based education, that means after completion of their 4-year course, they should be equipped with some qualities, of course, blended with their original knowledge and skill set, so that they can readily serve the industry and they can give the output in tune with the requirement of the industry. The current days, when we had joined our industrial life in the early stage, at that time, organization used to allow initial management training to relax for 1 year. Just go to navigate to the different department, try to be associated with the different people, or almost enjoy the life. But this much luxury the industry cannot afford in this current days. So they want ready to serve people. From that perspective, apart from the technical knowledge or skill set, what extra human faculty that you are looking for, so that we as a faculty members will also try to imbibe those things, so that they can develop slowly at least, so that they won't feel much difficulty while joining the industries. Any viewpoints, sir?
So, I cannot say industry as a whole, but since our industry, MCPI is manufacturing, and I also work in manufacturing industries, from that perspective, I can tell that if the industry is not a greenfield or new industry, if it is a industry, see ours is around 24 years old. So when industry is more than 20 years old, at any point of time, you can find at least 2 generations are working. If you go to our factory tomorrow, you can find that absolutely 2 generations, Z, Y and Gen Z, both are working side by side. And you can see apparently there is a marked difference in the value system. In our time, we were more, we believe in one organization, one wife concept. But now, if you take
Accessibility is very high.
CV of any new candidate or engineer, you will find at least 4 jobs in 5 years minimum. So we also adapt ourselves. Like when we were young, we were not using specs. Then the more we get older, we started with the reading glass. Then we use the bifocal when we see that myopic vision is coming. Then now we are using, what is that? Progressive. So like I am changing myself with time, my outlook also should change with time. So I cannot get success the way I did in the late 90s or early 90s. So I also keep changing with the new thing. In fact, a few days before I was watching the Indian Idol, and there's a girl who is serious who is blind. She is blind. So one organization came with a specs, through with the specs, through artificial intelligence, can identify the person who is standing in front of her. So whether he is male or female, how tall is he, whether he has mustache or not, everything. So this is unbelievable. For the girl, she was not seeing anything, some percentage of it. So in organization also, we keep that type of repositioning ourselves, keeping the generation into consideration, so that people who have generation gap, ये लोग तो वैसे ही सोचता है, आज का ज़माने में ऐसा सोचता है. I have one phone, iPhone in say 2019, 97, 98. At that time, iPhone was not so common. So I was using it, and my son was in a convent school, boarding school in Dehradun. And in that school, mobile phones and TV, they were not allowed to use. The students were not exposed to the mobile. But when I used to go to him during the summer vacation, and I used to give, he used to find my Android phone, iPhone. In 10 minutes, he could have find out at least 20 to 25 applications which I didn't. So I have to accept that this generation, they belong to that, and they do it very smartly, very fast. That is the way of life. So in industry also, now that we are collaborating with HIT, the engineers who are working for 10 to 12 years, we are again giving them the fundamentals of physics or engineering to them. So SAN is also helping us or supporting us in designing, in conducting. So it is like a refreshing. So what I mean to say is that basic engineering will not change. That is the foundation. and जितना भी technology IT come or not come, this will not change overnight because they are time tested and they are very much there. So in our organization, together with all the IT related things which are providing to the newcomers, we are also ensuring that the fundamental of things also should have. Otherwise, the total system will collapse. System will not work. So this is the challenge, and since as you have mentioned correctly, manufacturing exposure, vacancies in manufacturing is coming down due to automation. So now students, my son, he was doing electrical. I said then I took him to my factory, showed the thermal power station, this thing, that thing, but he didn't find any interest. He doesn't want to make his finger dirty. उसका ये है कि वो एक sophisticated office होगा, वहाँ पे AC रहेगा, सामने ऐसा रहेगा. That is the least effort, maximum output, something like that.
Yeah, the world is changing.
So
exactly, this is the mindset prevailing in the
cannot change. We cannot help ourselves.
Exactly.
Because in our time we used to have yellow taxis in Calcutta. Yellow taxis without AC. Sardarjis used to be the drivers. Now, without this Ola Uber, I cannot afford because I am habituated with the hygienic condition. I want AC condition not due to the temperature, but there should not be dust. That should be neat and clean. It has to be like that. So like that, things are changing. We are adopting ourselves very fast, and that is the fact of life.
The average IQ has also increased of the newborns.
Yeah.
So we have to match up with that generation. So say we are from the previous generation. So this generation and this generation. So now those who in this particular generation will be the slightly not in the cream. So they will have to upgrade themselves. So for that the institutes have to push them to that level. Because everybody won't be having that sort of a IQ, but the average IQ is definitely higher than what we were at the same age or something like that. So this is the time. Actually, the time changes, so everybody has to change accordingly. Because change is the only constant.
Actually, what happens, we the senior people or the aged people, we can judiciously trade off between what is good and what is right, to what extent we will rely on this virtual activity. But being young blood, particularly in their adolescence, they are moving towards this sort of illusion and thereby jeopardizing sometimes their career and education. Finally, I would request that because this particular program is in continuation with our ongoing FDP faculty development program on the lab on chip technology. Finally, how the industry and the academia can come closer to each other. What is your expectation from our academic people so that we can collaborate for our mutual benefits? Already some work is going on. Professor Devdatta Bose is there. SAD is very much instrumental in having collaboration with the nearby industries. A lot of activities of consultancy work is also going on. What is the generic idea or message so that we can, as a whole, academia can serve the interests or can satisfy at least to some extent the interest of the industry or the business. Any expectation or any message we should incorporate or which we should follow so that it will be of immense help for both.
Yeah, we can definitely make some projects for the students. We have been giving them internship trainings. We still will. It's not that because my particular HR department is very supportive of that. They actually, and they will still be. On behalf of them, I can definitely proudly say that as far as the side is concerned, there will be no shortage of any kind of support on that front. And when do they do those projects with us? Maybe it will be almost restricted to an extent to the battery manufacturing because Excite is a battery manufacturing company at the back end of the day. So it will be restricted to that. But again, this particular manufacturing setup, what we have, or this particular product, it's basically an application-oriented product. So there is a metallurgy, there is mechanical engineering, there is complete instrumentation. Then it has its own chemistry and electrochemistry going hands in hands together. Then so all these are application based, and the application is to the health. Definitely for mechanical engineering, the pump will be pump, and compressor will be a compressor. Now the various state of art compressors are there, so they can get a very hand feel of it, and maybe the next time when you send somebody, normally we have been doing the asking them to do the projects on that, or the battery sort of thing, or the plant production sort of thing, which is mainly comprising of the plates and all. But this time maybe we can induct them into the engineering services and ask them to do some energy or cost saving project, or we can ask them to do some means optimized energy utilization. We can ask them to do some this sort of projects which we have not been doing. So those sort of things we can definitely do, and definitely they will be happy to learn something out there which will be more practical and more related to the mechanical field.
And this is why our regulating authority, that is the AICT, has given more emphasis that internship to have service.
If our faculties or students like to visit your industries and want to do something research work, so fund is required. We will provide this for your benefit.
For the funding, I cannot directly say. For the funding, and not directly say, because these are all driven by our head office.
Whether you process, you can process it.
Definitely, Mr. Tobi.
Because without fund, no research work. Research work is always required some funds. I don't know how I will move this my tenacity or my idea. I want to move my idea. So if I want to follow this idea, so I have need some funds, because I will take some test or anything more. How I will go for that?
Yeah, definitely.
So
if it is there within our scope of lab,
I want to see if I find out some problems which can help you in future, then you will fund or you will process.
I think so, because definitely this should be a part of the corporate social responsibilities. If that sort of an idea is presented to the front end and onwards to our board or definitely you can put that proposal up to our plant head, because I am on the plant head right now. So on his behalf, I can at least say this one, that he should initially welcome it, definitely. Whether it will finally get processed or not, that I cannot.
Actually, what is happening? We have some idea in respect of different organizations. We can improve that.
Yes.
Still, we are not always in position to fund those teachers who are competent. So if industry comes forward and we can take help from them, then only it is possible.
Definitely, it should be done through the CSRs and others.
CSR fund. Number two, nowadays the syllabus has been changed. The judicious mixture of practical and theoretical. Without theoretical, nothing will be happening. Without practical, nothing will be happening.
Yes.
So in these situations, your required help is required. Sometimes the lecture, sometimes visit, everything. I think you will come forward.
Definitely. As far as at least
this is the required for the nowadays academia, for persons or student or teachers. Everybody is required.
definitely we'll do our majority part for bridging up the I know I do.
So I addressed the faculties. So you heard from this gentleman, if you have some idea on their plan to go forward and make a proposal and convince them, they will forward for fund or everything, and you will do your research as well as industry will be helped, or academic parts will be helped. Our students and teachers will be helped. So you forward.
We should help you.
You forward.
I don't know how to CPA.
Already we are going this.
Anyway, any form of interaction, okay,
Yes.
so that is beneficial for both sides, and particularly due to immense help for our
Actually,
students.
without practical exposure
Here's something
in
from the-
engineering, nothing will be happening, because very short what we can say. If we see, we can forget. If we learn, we will forget. If we hear, we will forget. If we see, we can remember. And if we do it on our own hand, then we will never forget. So, judicious mixture of theory and practice is required, and each would create relations with the industries, and you make an idea, because we have some training, we have some training idea lab, how you make the idea, and just keep the touch with the industries as the outcomes will be beneficial for the students as well as teachers. Okay.
Sure. Okay, last minute. Professor Ghosh is our faculty in charge of IIPC. So, any expectation from the
Actually, I'll tell you the present practices of our institute. I can tell you we have one AICD funded idea laboratory. We have incorporated instruments, various sophisticated instruments from mechanical and electronics. So it is sort of mechatronics. You can say we have 3D printer, 3D scanners, we have PCB milling machine, wood cutter router, we have IoT system, embedded system. These are the configurations. So these have CNC.
small.
So in this regard, if we can help you. So I request to visit our idea laboratory. And another thing we have recently started 2 years back. We are recognized by Host Institute by Ministry of Medicine. And from Ministry of Medicine, we have got 11 projects, 11 incubation projects. Mostly our faculty members are involved, students are also involved. 2 to 3 outsiders are also there. So we are making some products, and finally the ministry as well as the institute has a dream to make it a business. So while completing those forms or applying for those projects, we have seen many ideas is coming up. One of the major problem is the industrial problem. Small problem, maybe a product you are taking from a vendor who is far away from you. Sometimes you require maintenance, repairing, right? In this regard, since we are technical institute, maybe we can use our manpower, faculties and students to help in this one. I'm not going up to calibration part because that's far away. But little bit maintenance, little bit small products, right? If we can give you some import substitution, then I think we can take it forward. So that is, in that case, our faculties and our students will be also involved into the process. Then maybe the ununiformness which we observe, maybe like most of the students have written software as their choice. They are not getting their job in software, then by compulsion they are coming to the core sector. So it is happening the whole process. If engineers are not coming by their choice, then core industries are also getting affected. So if we can bring that process from the first year itself, in these 4 years, you can bring some industrial practices here with your help, with our proactiveness, then I think the outcome will be beneficial for both of us. And moreover, we are working on some, water qualities. We have started working on the corrosions.
Actually, we are starting our work like consultancy with Mitsubishi, Indian Oil, Water, different places we have done and successfully completed. And we have already signing a MOU with Mitsubishi as long term we can go for each other.
Knowledge partner. Faculty level is the
But more involvement is good. I want this, I want project, I want that, I want consultancy. From the very beginning when I have joined, I am focusing this on this line. So it is already
Friday impact.
So now it is just for, will not take much to 3 minutes. Open session, if you have any queries,
Just ask.
expectation, clarification, you are welcome to ask. Any question, anything, it is not very formal. So whatever question is arising in your mind, you can ask, you can ask question.
This faculty development program is technical or
Technical, fully technical.
I will just add one thing. Actually, basic question which he has raised, Dr. Jana, the change hardcore and software. basic place. I feel, this is my personal opinion, there is a lot of scope for hardcore engineering. Only thing is lacking, that is the interest. Because students are not taking interest, they are not learning. Because number of jobs are still now opening, they are not getting proper man. You are agree? You are agree?
In behavioral aspect, I am telling the evolution. There used to be lecture type of. Initially, it was started like that. 30 years back. I am the faculty. I am speaking, and all the employees are listening. Then we went to the PPT. That was a PowerPoint presentation, but on a piece of slide. We used to take Xerox. We used to write. And that
Overhead projections.
Overhead projections.
Before that light tracing.
Yeah. Then it came the PowerPoint presentation. Latest is the phase of storytelling. Because behavioral scientists have identified, just as in when you learn, when you hear, you don't remember. Something you mentioned.
Yes.
So like that, we always keep telling stories. It may be from Ramayana, it may be from Mahabharata, it may be from anywhere. You can see Sadhguru, many people they speak in that, which remains in our mind. But I don't know in technical, how can you make it a storytelling? I doubt. Was it that?
Maybe from experience, if you have any, from your past experience.
Hey, suppose you are teaching carbon cycle, or you are teaching something. How can you make it in a storytelling form?
Finally, it goes to a story.
Actually, I want to say that when a mechanical engineering students coming in the college and want to learn the mechanical engineering, so there is an involvement of national money there. So it is a national loss. So why mechanical engineering students will not go for mechanical engineering field? What they are doing, that just simply learning from outside coding. Actually, they have lost their interest. But go for the mechanical engineering, there is a lot of scope. I want to say this. Who are coming the mechanical engineering class, they just learn the mechanical engineering. Honestly, they learn the mechanical engineering and everybody it takes interest, definitely he will study. Definitely I can say this. Number of jobs are there. And I have that, the output. The number of organizations comes and ask for experienced mechanical engineers, but they are not getting it. In steel plant, in any process plant, they are not getting proper mechanical engineering because on 90s onwards, maximum engineers have gone to the software field. So there is a lot of vacancies there. So for this reason, it is not working.
Sir, another point is there. Means if you compare the selection process of the core companies and the software companies, you will find software company getting job in software is much more easier.
No, it's okay. But one thing, high
Sir,
where pass the exam, they can get the output. Which they are getting. So why they come for the
Actually, realization comes after that. After working.
From my experience, I can tell if a student is capable, he can join both software and hardware. So I have one very good example of a student of mine who got 4 jobs. Okay, 3 are in software and 1 in core. Okay, so he is a live example. So on.
And that is the exception. That is called exception. Every law has an
So
exception.
he got 3 software jobs and 1 core job. He opted for the core job.
Okay, it is exception.
So
it is called exception.
he went to his basics.
Yes, I want that.
He went to his basics.
I am trying to say that.
How to make it more attractive so that given a choice, the person will go to the code.
Exactly.
You see what is happening in software. Sometimes it is growth and maturity. Number of students are required, and when it is declined, then what is happening? Layoff. And when it is going some asymptotically, what is the result? Layoff. But in hardcore job is not like that. He will rise and rise and rise.
Sir, I
And
would like to mention one thing in addition to what Professor Bose has said. I used to see this person in the very early morning in the Maidan playground. I used to see the person, the same person in the IDLR. And he used to stay over there up to long, late night.
I want to say, if these numbers will increase, then only it is possible. Because interest has lost.
In the recent times, the socioeconomic changes are observed.
No, not only that.
Mostly people people are driven by the money.
Okay,
Whether
but
it is young people or whether it is
I will say.
in a short time they can make a lot of money. That is the main.
I will say that
And
if you
this
see.
scenario is prevalent in the IITs as well. So you ask the IIT faculty members, they are also facing.
I will say here one thing. If you see that life is only single dimension, that is money, then another, there's nothing to see. There is only single dimension in life, that is life, money. But it's not like that. There are a number of dimensions are here. See, consider this. And in terms of money, you just consider, I think the differentiate. Then you will see that the summation will be much more from software to hardware. There only money, no time is there. Only work and money. And here,
What's the
People have other
money
attractions
is
as
better than
well.
money.
People have other attractions as well.
okay, but this.
But that requires a lot of technology. We are not tired. Now people think that if I go for the academics, I have to spend another, after graduation, another 10 years to settle. By that time, my friend who is in the software, they will make crores of rupees.
So they will have the.
So that is the distinction.
No, I'm not giving any. I'm not saying that this is wrong. This is not, but it should not. I'm telling you it should not.
That is what the
I'm not saying that you are wrong.
mindset will change in time to time.
Nowadays, majority of them do the MBA from any of the B schools.
That's another attraction.
And
Actually, now this also is. All are softwares.
the soft part of it, and they stay in that because that's more settling. Because finally they have to, if you look it from their perspective, anybody who means inertia again, Newton's first law always works.
Now,
So
when you will see an electrical engineer not properly saying what is Ohm's law, then what do you think? They have done their syllabus or no? So, open.
Okay, so anybody who can ask question, I think it got very heated up. I mean,
No, these are all debatable topics. Okay, sir, please.
very interesting.
Sir, I have worked 4 years for industry and mostly that is in the process industry in which like you are now working at present. At present now the industry, as per my knowledge, there are two types of industries up there. One is the process industry which is based on chemical instrumentation etc., which is mostly situated in Haldia and outskirts. And another is manufacturing industry where the blades, milling, pressing, shaping machine etc. are there. Now in our syllabus, half of the syllabus in mechanical engineering is mostly devoted to what is called the lathe, shaping, etc. A few types of in the idea of maintenance or etc. A few types of thermal or etc. whatever fluid etc. But in the process when we go, we do not find it is a totally different.
it's disconnect.
Right. Like that Tikajana sir teaches us the CNC machine, automation, etc. Now, if a student learns these things and go to that your industry, what application he will find?
Sir,
This is one subject.
the thing is that
Process
in any engineering domain, say for mechanical engineering, if you take a bird's eye view, you will have the three distinct zones. Now, whenever you are talking about a specific industry, say process industry, as Mr. Das, has rightly discussed or explained, that it is a conglomeration of the multidisciplinary activities. There should be mechanical, and the expert is also required from the electrical, instrumentation, chemical. So
I
that
am
team.
from job perspective. So we have to see their requirement. They want a particular job for that, right? That job requires some mechanical part, some electrical part,
Yes,
some instruction part, some process part, etc. For that they have given the advertisement. Now when the mechanical engineering apply, he is find that in that job only chemical and instrumentation is required but not mechanical.
Now, it depends on the time frame. At any particular time, there may not be any requirement for the mechanical engineering. There may not be, say for instance, HPL. Their requirement proportional is different. They will focus more on the chemical and they will select maybe only one for instrumentation, one for mechanical. So this number combination, it keeps on changing. That also happens in the Jadavpur University as well. Some industries
No,
they
I
are
want
not
to add
doing
one thing
every
over
year.
here. What Sada said is perfectly alright. But see, whenever a student fresh joins an industry, there is a provision of training period. Okay, so in that training period, he gets groomed up, he learns what is there in the industry. See, as per our experience, Professor Jana and Professor Devdatta goes, we are also worked in industry. See, only 2% of our knowledge, what we have studied across 4 years, was applied in industry.
It's only circles.
Okay, it's only we find only 2% of our knowledge of learning mechanical engineering were applied in industry. The rest was experience. This 4-year long journey of studying engineering is basically an experience on diverse field. This accumulation of knowledge across all the domains of
Actually,
engineering.
Gautam, when they come to us for interview, if I'm wrong, you will correct me. They always ask fundamentals.
Exactly.
They do not ask what is CNC machine, how it was,
Exactly.
what is the programming. They ask most of the cases.
Fundamental.
They are asking very simple questions.
Fundamental
Which can be answered any moment if they study little bit about it.
See,
So
what
what is the difference between an MM thread and a heat thread?
Exactly.
That is the basic. So
See, in our power plant, we teach various types of turbines and all. In fluid machinery, we teach various types of pumps. But actually, when you go to an industry, you see a pump size of this room. It's completely a different ball game there. It's not the same what we study and see, visualize the picture on the book. It's completely different.
One thing, if you
That you have to learn and you have to inculcate in your training period and you get in sync with the industry.
if you know the theory, then it is easy to accept the everything.
Exactly.
So in your classroom, you just take your theory as well as some practical work, you continue, and you will, that you are habituated. Then when you are in industry,
Apply in that particular
you
domain.
can accept. No problem. No problem.
And there is a wrong practice nowadays. I don't know. I think every teacher has this experience. They do consider that physics, mathematics, chemistry, they are non-departmental subjects. That is the most wrong thing I believe, because the other day, Shushamanda was telling me that he asked a simple question to one of our students. Do you know hyperbola? He has not answered the question. So this is really a bad thing, because if you do not know what is hyperbola, what is parabola, for that I don't know. To answer this question, you do not have to know. The fundamental is very important.
If you are
For freshers I've seen, they are not asking any odd questions.
for engineering students in the interview mathematics student, I have asked in the teacher's interview, how many hairs you have on your head? No, you can guess anything. This is my question. Nobody can say it. I think how many you all can give the answer, I don't know. But everybody knows it. This is the basic thing. Because this is the hemisphere, this is the hemisphere. So I will know the surface area as per hemisphere. And in square meter or square inch or square centimeter, I can guess, then automatically it is calculated. But nobody can say. But if I say how much numbers of nitrogen mole present in this room, nobody can say. Like, because we know the Avogadro's number, volume 2 number, only this, only one thing. So you can percentage of nitrogen we know. So how many numbers of nitrogen mole, anybody can say. But they cannot accumulate that. They don't know the basis. So he wants to say. First, we should know the basis. Then we can give any answer. I think.
Anyway, they are our teachers.
Anyway, it was a fantastic. So please sit. Anyway, it was a fantastic discussion. It was a very good panel discussion. I need a round of applause for this. All the learned panelists have actively participated, and I hope the faculties who were present have absorbed a lot of inputs from this panel discussion. I'd like to request our host to convey the next message.
Now, on behalf of the
বোর্ডটাকে ভালো করে পুশ করো
ঠিক আছে।
So on behalf of the department, we would like to hand over to mementos to our respected principal, Dr. and to our Dean of School of Engineering and Professor Mechanical Engineering, Dr. Atal Fdp F. So it is customary to extend the vote of thanks. So to conclude the total session, I would like to request Professor Dr. Atal Fdp F to extend the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. This is the last part of the program. Once again, I would congratulate Professor Gautam Bose, the coordinator of this second version of Atal Fdp program. On the very first day, that is the inaugural session, I categorically mentioned that it is really praiseworthy and it is very difficult to get approval from the AICT to conduct or organize this sort of prestigious FDP program. So my sincere regards and thanks to the organizer, the coordinator and co-coordinator Dr. Abhishek Samanto, Mechanical Engineering Department. In our institute, all across the departments, this sort of FDP workshop, seminar, conferences are being organized regularly so that we can nurture the present, the current trends, recent developments, and can boost the research activities, and also this will add to our day-to-day teaching learning activities. So I congratulate our top management for their constant encouragement to hold this sort of activities regularly on different subjects. As far as this particular program is concerned, it was a very good blending of academia and industry, which justify the true understanding and true benefits of this sort of program. The title is basically the application development or a lab in a chip, which is basically capture the spirit of current trends of miniaturization of the equipment and laboratory experimental setup. So wide number of experimental setups can be carried out by using a microchip, but it is not so easy as we say how to develop, how to carry out the experiment. So for that we had a wide varieties of renowned academicians from the all across the eastern region of India, namely from the IIT Kharagpur, IIST Shivpur, and of course Jadavpur University. In the inaugural session, we had a pool of guests from the local industries. Mr. Amal Datta, who is has been the senior VP Ripte and Company Limited, Mr. Mamtu Patro, General Manager Tata Steel Haldia, Mr. Sushovan Patro, General Manager Haldia Energy Limited Haldia. So these are the persons who are very closely associated with our institutions, and I had seen them on different occasions, similar type of this sort of events organized by the electrical department, instrumentation department, and of course the mechanical engineering department. So I, on behalf of the institute and on behalf of the mechanical engineering department, I convey my sincere regards to those people who, despite their busy schedule, make it possible to attend this inaugural ceremony and to grace the occasion. Throughout the 5 days, we had number of faculty members. The term looks very simple, cheap. It looks also very smaller, but lot of intricacies are involved. Different aspects are there. So there are different aspects. Some portion is already captured by the title, that is the thermal and fluid aspect. So these two aspects are nicely taken care of by the on the very first day, Professor Sandeep Sarkar from Jadavpur University Mechanical Engineering Department, who has focused his lecture and his experimental and theoretical development of the research output as far as computational fluid dynamics is concerned. And on the very day, he was accompanied by Dr. Nirmalandu Biswas from the Power Engineering Jadavpur University. He had focused his attention and delivered his lectures on the PCM, that is the contribution of the phase changing materials for the lab on chip development. In the second day, we had got Professor Sudip Ghosh and Professor Subhasis Bhomik from IIST Shivpur. Although I was not present during their lecture, but I believe that Professor Bhomik, who is also very much associated with our mechanical engineering and production engineering, design production engineering department from the very inception of our department. I believe that from 2000, on different occasions, not only this faculty development program, they are a very important member of the Board of Studies of Mechanical Engineering currently, which was framed under the autonomous status. So they are also regular visitor, and all other occasions also So Professor Bhomik and Professor Sudhir Bose had delivered different lectures at different time, and this time also they had delivered their lectures in the different aspects. Professor Bose had deliberated on the thermal aspect, power plant side, and the focus of Professor Bhomik is basically electromechanical system and mechatronic system, robotic system, something like that. On the third day, we had Dr. Chirodeep Bakli and Dr. Rajaram Lakkaraju, both from IIT Kharagpur. They had delivered lecture on the thermal and fluid science, particularly the high performance computing. That is also very important feature or important aspect of developing this lab on chip technology. Yesterday, we had two senior professors from Jadavpur University, Professor Souren Mitro and Professor Ranjit Biswas. So far, the fluid application is concerned, fluid behavior is concerned, thermal behavior is concerned, that was taken care of by our earlier speakers. And what these two faculty members had delivered, how to manufacture the small miniature size chips. That also require state-of-the-art innovative technology. So that was the focus of deliberation of Professor Souren Mitro and Sanjeev Biswas. So my sincere regards and thanks to those two faculty members of Jadavpur University. And today on the final day, we had also two young faculty members of invaluable credential from IIT Kharagpur. One who has been Dr. Siddharth Tamang, who is our former students, and Dr. Venkata Nagavamsi Mungala, also from IIT Kharagpur. They are also discussed on the coating technologies and dissimilar metal welding. So all these diverse areas are all basically leads to this lab on chip technology. So once again, I congratulate the organizer for selecting this very attractive and promising topic. And in the today's valedictory session, we are having with us another two senior most industry people, Mr. Aniruddha Das from Excite and Mr. Gautam De from HR person from the LCPI. Rajat Desai, sorry, please pardon me. So, and at the same time, I found on the very first day and throughout all the 5 days, presence of faculty members across all disciplines. So, the constitution of the participants which I have seen that they are from different disciplines, from the chemical, biotech, instrumentation, IT, mechanical. So I think so that is also a good bending, and of course few people are also took part from the industry. So I believe that in the current days and in the coming times, the department will also organize similar type of program for our mutual benefits, and the input that we have all received by undergoing this particular program will definitely enrich us, will encourage us to carry forward our work and to apply whatever technology, whatever the techniques, whatever the inputs that we have received so far, that will be able to gradually apply in our day-to-day activities and undertake further research. So thank you all, and of course my sincere regards and thanks for the continuous engagement of our senior professor Vikas Bapari, our former Dean Students Welfare, also Senior Professor of Mechanical Engineering. He is expert of robotics and mechatronics system. Our principal, our IIPC coordinator, Professor Devdatta Ghosh, and other students, members, students, participants, student volunteers, so for their continuous participation, without which it would not have been possible to realize this particular FDP program in its true spirit. So thank you very much. Wish you all the good luck, and I believe that in the future you will also extend your hands to carry forward this sort of activities in this true perspective. Thank you very much.